Imagine a world ruled by giants, where survival was a daily battle. A world millions of years ago, where our earliest ancestors, small and vulnerable, faced creatures that seemed like they belong in myths. Today, we journey back to one of the most epic showdowns in prehistoric history, the clash between early humans and the colossal giant ground sloth. Welcome to Hominide History Hub, where we unravel the incredible story of our past. The giant ground sloth, or Megatherium, wasn't your slow, cuddly tree dweller. Picture a beast the size of an elephant, weighing up to 4 tons, with claws as long as kitchen knives. It could stand on its hind legs, towering over 20 feet tall, easily reaching the high branches of trees. For our ancestors, like Homo habilis or early Homo erectus, this creature was a walking mountain of potential food, but also a formidable, terrifying opponent. So how did they do it? How did a small group of early humans, armed with nothing but stone tools and sheer ingenuity, take down a megafauna powerhouse? The answer lies in the greatest strengths of humanity, teamwork, and intelligence. Unlike the solitary ground sloth, early humans were social beings. They lived, hunted, and survived in groups. A lone human would be no match for a megatherium, but a coordinated band? That was a different story. The hunt wasn't a spontaneous brawl. It was a meticulously planned operation. Scouts would track the massive animal, observing its habits, its daily paths, and its moments of vulnerability. They learned its patterns, noting where it drank water or when it rested. Knowledge was their first and most critical weapon. Once the target was chosen, the plan was set in motion. The hunt likely involved a combination of terrifying persistence and clever traps. Imagine the scene. A group of hunters using a deep understanding of the landscape would work to separate a ground sloth from its territory, driving it towards a pre-selected location, perhaps a pitfall trap cleverly disguised with branches and leaves, or a narrow ravine where the beast's size would become a disadvantage. They wouldn't charge head-on, that would be suicide. Instead, they would use noise, fire, and coordinated movements to create panic and confusion, herding the giant into their trap. This was a war of attrition. The hunters would use projectile weapons, sharpened wooden spears or stones thrown with incredible accuracy to harass and wound the sloth from a safe distance. Every strike was a calculated risk. A single swipe from those massive claws could be fatal. The goal wasn't to kill it with a single blow, but to exhaust it, to weaken it through blood loss and relentless pressure. Think of a pack of wolves circling a bison. Our ancestors adopted a similar strategy, using their stamina and numbers to wear down their colossal prey. Let's talk about the tools. We often see simple-looking stone tools in museums, but don't underestimate their effectiveness. A hand axe, painstakingly chipped from flint or obsidian, was a marvel of engineering. It was sharp enough to butcher thick hide and powerful enough to break bones. Once the ground sloth was trapped or sufficiently wounded, the hunters would move in for the final, dangerous phase. They would use long spears to strike at vital areas, aiming for the neck or underbelly. It was a chaotic, heart-pounding moment where bravery and precision were paramount. The victory was more than just a meal, it was a game changer. A single giant ground sloth could feed a clan for weeks. In essence, hunting these giants was a catalyst for our own evolution. The challenges our ancestors faced forced them to become smarter, more cooperative, and more adaptable. The carcass was a treasure trove. The hide would be used for clothing and shelter, providing protection against the elements. The massive bones could be fashioned into tools or even used as structural supports for dwellings. The sinews could be turned into cordage. Nothing was wasted. This act of butchering was a communal event, reinforcing social bonds and establishing hierarchies within the group. The knowledge of how to hunt, butcher, and utilize every part of the animal was passed down through generations, becoming a cornerstone of their culture. So when we look back at our small, seemingly fragile ancestors, let's not see them as helpless. See them as pioneers, as brilliant strategists and courageous survivors who stood tall against the titans of their time. The story of their battle with the giant ground sloth isn't just a tale of hunter and prey. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of collaboration. It's a story that's written in our very DNA. They laid the foundation for everything that followed, proving that even in a world of giants, the greatest power comes from a mind that can think and a community that works together. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the deep past here at Hominide History Hub. If you were fascinated by this prehistoric clash, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the incredible story of human evolution. See you next time.